Cummings, I will respond to the SONA situation. Good morning. My fellow Liberians, mothers in the markets, students in the back rows, farmers in the restaurants, teachers in overcrowded classrooms, nurses in understaffed clinics, and workers across our 15 counties. Our nation stands at a decisive crossroads. 20 years after the end of our civil wars and 2 years into this administration, we are being told the story of recovery. President Boakai assures the nation that our country is in a better state than it was a year ago. I respect the president. He is my friend, and I know he loves Liberia. But as a Liberian who listens to the everyday cries of our people and walk our communities, I must ask the question that every struggling family is asking. Recovery for whom? Progress for who? Results where? Today, I will not only critique the government, but I will offer a people-focused and people-centered set of alternatives to the challenges facing our country. The president yesterday quoted economic growth and lower inflation. But let's be clear. Macroeconomic stability is not the same as microeconomic survival. The Global Hunger Index places Liberia near the bottom of the world. 112 out of 123 countries. This is not just a statistic. It means 2 in every 5 Liberians do not eat sufficiently. 2 in every 5 Liberians do not eat sufficiently. It means our children's futures are being cut short by stunted growth. As people say in the streets, the rose will eat. You cannot cook kota, and you cannot feed a child a blueprint. The state of our nation must be measured by the fullness of the stomach, the safety of our communities, and the dignity of work. The president proudly announced a U.S. $1.2 billion budget, the highest in our history. But a budget is not just a planning document. More importantly, it is a moral document. While the government celebrates these numbers, Liberia remains the 9th poorest nation on earth. The 9th poorest nation on earth. Over 2.5 million of our brothers and sisters cannot meet their basic needs. And in rural Liberia, the poverty rate is a staggering 80%. Where is the proof that this record budget is improving lives? While public hospitals lack gloves and schools lack chalk, the legislature's budget has increased to over 51 million United States dollars. And the National Security Agency's budget has ballooned by 50% to 22 million United States dollars. We are supposed to receive windfalls, including the 200 million ArcelorMittal signature bonus. Yet, these resources are being absorbed into a bloated budget to fund the luxury lifestyles of the political class. Here's the people's alternative to the budget. First, cap wasteful spending. We must cap the budget of the legislature and the executive. We must cap the budget of the legislature and the executive, ending the era of big cars, extravagant travel, amongst many other wasteful spending. We must fund the front line, shift resources to health, to education, and the security personnel, the police, the military, who actually keep us safe. Transparency. We need county-level reporting of the budget. If a budget cannot be explained to a market woman, it was not written for her. Next, farmers. Farmers must be first. Agriculture as the engine. The president calls agriculture the heart of the arrest agenda. But you cannot claim agriculture is the heart while you slash its funding. Here's the people's alternative for our farmers. We must meet the international commitment to allocate 10% of our national budget to agriculture. Processing, not just planting. We must use windfalls to build processing plants, rice milling, cassava processing, and fisheries cold storage, so farmers move from hand to mouth to business for profit. Farmers move from hand to mouth to business for profit. Feeder roads. These are the economic lifelines that connect farms to markets. Without them, harvest simply rots in the fields, and we need to invest significantly more in farm to market roads. Next, business and women, dignity and protection. Our Liberian women own 55% of small businesses, yet they are shut out of the banks and ignored by the system. But their struggle is not just economic. It is a struggle for safety and for dignity. Here's the people alternative for women. We need a national microloan scheme. We propose a dedicated credit and guarantee scheme specifically for market women and small Liberian businesses. Justice for women and girls. We cannot talk about women's first while the scourge of rape and sexual abuse haunts our communities. Covering. When our women and girls are safe and prosperous, Liberia grows from the bottom up. Youth first, from hustle to careers. From hustle to careers. A temporary job is not a future. Our youth are not lazy. They are blocked by lack of opportunity. Blocked by lack of opportunity. Yes, to give the opportunity for our youth. A national youth service program engage graduates, assistant teachers, healthcare workers, other professions, among many, many others, providing them with a salary, training, and a sense of purpose. We need a skills revolution. We need to expand TVET and apprenticeships county by county, so our young people have the technical skills to build our infrastructure. Decentralization, bringing government to people. I strongly support decentralization, but passing a law is not enough. Real decentralization means counties can plan and develop without begging Monrovia for every cent. Yes, people's alternative on decentralization. Decentralized money, not just titles. Counties must have predictable and audited development financing. We must strengthen county service centers. Basic services, permits, documents, deeds, licenses must be available in every county hub so that citizens do not have to spend their last savings traveling to Monrovia. Local governance. We must empower local leaders to prioritize their own feeder roads, their own schools and clinics, ensuring that the government is felt in villages and not just on Capitol Hill. Energy and infrastructure, powering production. A nation cannot develop in darkness. Most Liberians still live without reliable electricity, and rural Liberia still remains, unfortunately, largely in the dark. Yes, the people's alternative on energy. We need mini-grids and solar to be installed and implemented immediately. We cannot wait on the central grid. We must deploy community solar and off-grid solutions for clinics and schools immediately. Power for production. Energy must be prioritized for agro-processing and small manufacturing to create jobs and not just to light up homes, although lighting homes is also important. Corruption. Corruption must go beyond indictments to justice. The president cited 11 indictments, but 2 convictions in 2 years is not the anti-corruption revolution Liberia needs. Corruption is the reason that there is no medicine in clinics, no supply in schools, among many other dire consequences. Here's the people's alternative on accountability. We special anti and the delay tactics that allow impunity to survive. Asset recovery. Stolen public money must be recovered and reinvested into water systems, schools, roads, and other productive investments that benefit the Liberian people directly. No protected species. Entire institutions must be fully autonomous, ensuring that no one is protected by friendship. I've just shared a summary of some alternatives we propose to the many challenges facing our country. But let me conclude as follows. The time for action is now. The president ended his address by saying leadership is service. I agree. Leadership is also delivery. If the economy is growing, the people should feel it. People should feel it. If the government is working, hunger should be falling. Liberia has the land, the resources, and most importantly, Liberia has the talent. What we have lacked produces measurable results. This is what we offer. I see the resilience of the market woman who wakes up at 4 a.m. I see the brilliance of the student studying by candlelight. I see the farmer walking miles to a market road. You, among many others, represent the strength of Liberia. The people's alternative is not just a critique. It is a promise of integrity, competence, and a government that loves its people more than it loves itself. A government that loves its people more than it loves itself. The time for empty rhetoric is over. The time for action is now. The time for Liberia to rise is now. I thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was the end of the press conference, and thank you for coming. And we look forward to having additional engagement with you this year. Thank you. So please.